Just imagine you're working on a very hard assignment and then somebody else comes and copies your work, maybe by paraphrasing it or getting the words as exactly as you've written, then they submit it in before you do. How would you feel? You'd feel very bad. Now, today we're going to talk about that kind of scenarios, and that is what we refer to as plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you copy somebody else's work, their idea or their words, without giving them credit, like without telling them it's them who really have done that. It can either be intentional or unintended. Not everyone who copies work intend them. At times they may write words which are the same, but they have really not intended to do so. So why plagiarism is very dangerous is for academic work, it may lead to a failed uh, project or even expulsion from the school or institution where you are learning. And then now for it is worse even for those ones who are professionals because it can lead to court suits um, due to copyright infringement, which is a very bad thing. And for those ones doing research, it can lead to the doubting of your credibility, mostly if you're a scientist. You're doing a research and then you plagiarize somebody's work. People start doubting your work. So there are some examples I'd like to show us, like how is plagiarism applied. Now I have this example here. There is this student A which writes, and then the source is here where they write from. Now student A decides to say, long ago, when there was no written history, these islands were the home of millions of happy birds, the result of 1,000 times more millions. So that's what student A writes. I'm just going to give the brief introduction to this. Now, in the source, the writer says, in ages which have no record, these islands were the home of millions of happy birds. Now, remember, this student is trying to use different words to mean the same thing that this writer in the original source had said. So this student A has to acknowledge that they got their idea from this writer in the source. So if they don't do that, that means they are plagiarizing. Now, uh, in this video, more important, we're going to talk about the types of plagiarism so that we don't fall victims of it, and then if the dangers of it, and more importantly, how to avoid plagiarism so that we are not caught or taken to lawsuits. So the very first type of plagiarism is direct plagiarism. Direct meaning you are getting the work of somebody and then you are incorporating into your own work word per word without recognizing that you got the word or the idea from the person. So you are not citing the source anywhere. So that is what we call direct plagiarism. You are not giving credit to this person. Now, second is self plagiarism. Self plagiarism is when you are using your own work. Assuming two lecturers have given you an assignment, and this assignment you can easily like use two you can easily use the same work to suit these two birds. This assignment which is given to you by the two different lecturers. So instead of you writing two different work, you decide to submit the same work for the two different lecturers as a student. So that becomes a self plagiarism. You have not written anywhere that I tried to copy this from an assignment of mine which I wrote on this and this and this a day. So that is plagiarism, and it calls for the penalties. And then the third type is the mosaic or the patch writing. The mosaic is when you pick somebody else's work and then you you mix it, you mix the contents so that you confuse people. It's not like you're paraphrasing, but you're really trying to confuse people. So you are trying to patch writing. So you don't even give credit to the person from where you're getting some of the words from. And then the accidental plagiarism, which is not really very common also, or maybe it can be referred to as, can be found under some of the plagiarism, is the accidental plagiarism. This is when you forget to cite the sources from where you got the work. So that way, we say that you have accidentally plagiarized. Now, the very first way we can uh, avoid this plagiarism and not be caught is by paraphrasing the work very, very well. You get somebody's ideas and then you paraphrase them very well. And also, it's okay to after using their idea, to credit them, to tell people that for sure it wasn't my original idea. I got the original idea from such a person in this article, or you cite the source from where you got it. And then, secondly, the use of quotation marks. If you're trying to use uh, direct citation, use quotation marks. Don't forget that I'm picking these words directly as this person used in this and this source. And then, thirdly, you have to know how to cite the different sources rightly according to the different styles, maybe the APA styles, the Chicago MLA styles, all. And then lastly, how can we avoid this plagiarism? It's very important. At times you may feel it's your own idea, but when you put it into plagiarism trackers, you'll find that your work maybe 78% is copied. So how do you make sure you don't submit work which is really copied? You have to use the plagiarism checkers. And the checkers have like they come in different names, like the Turnitin, Grammarly. So members, this is the work we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share as we continue bringing you more information. Thank you.